What's going on? It's your boy, Little T. Bet for the fact you already know how I'm rocking, man. Hey, man, check it out. I'm sorry. Let me get wipe my eyes. Nigga just yawned. Okay, cool. But anywho, we got who truly deserve fairly odd parents. It's a lot of people that deserve fairly odd parents. Timmy, of course, I feel like, cause he had Vicky and his mother. Tootie, cause she had
Who
Vicky.
truly deserves
Chester.
within Fairly Oddparents? Well, the criteria is simple. If their life is relatively miserable to the other kids,
But Chester did have
then
Fairly
they're
Oddparents
eligible
for a
for
minute.
godparents. So let's start with the man that kicked this off in my community post. Chester McBadbat lives a very interesting life, and there's a lot of evidence to lead you to understand why his life may be so miserable to deserve godparents.
That was
But
a bottle
before I get
cap
to that,
opener.
for those who don't know, Chester already had godparents.
Yup.
Within
See?
the episode, It's a Wishful Life. In an alternate reality where Timmy was never born, it was shown that Cosmo and Wanda would be in Chester's possession, and he would use them for selfless purposes.
Cosmo, Wanda, come on! Whew, we're late for our shift at the Senior Center. We're gonna wish up pre-chewed steaks for the toothless.
What a great kid! So selfless and wishing for others!
While very generous, I do want to stick to what happens in the main reality of the show. Within Foul Balled, which I spoke about before, Chester would play baseball to bring honor back to their family name, as frequently their mailbox is destroyed because Chester's father was that hated as a baseball player. However, as we'd learned through the episode Sleep Over and Over, while he doesn't necessarily enjoy certain things in his life like his TV going out, he's very happy and grateful for where he lives, and has a great relationship with his father. In Fairy Idol, this is strengthened, as when given magical powers via Norm the Genie, he uses his first wish to spend time with Timmy, giving both of them the best day ever. Use his second wish to restore his father's name to glory rather than to shame, finally releasing him from hiding his face. Towards the end of A Fairly Odd Movie, Jorgen makes a rule that Timmy can keep his godparents only if he decides to do good things with them, and I feel like Chester would only do good things if he had godparents in this reality, as his soul is very pure. However, since that rule only applied to boys named Timmy Turner, Chester's life is not miserable to Dimsdale standards, even though he does get bullied, gets F's, and fought a coyote.
He not miserable. That boy happy. It's your happiness.
I don't believe that he necessarily deserves godparents, but if he did have them, that'd be cool. Speaking of kids with fairies, let's speak about a kid who has fairies within the show.
That shouldn't have.
We know he has a godparent,
cause
Magnifico. Does Remy Bucks Aplenty truly deserve godparents?
I mean, he just not had good as parents.
Very quite contrary, where through his money and influence, he's able to outclass Timmy in a wide variety of things, ranging from buying up all the movie tickets for himself, beating him at an arcade game, and being Crimson Chin's richer and better counterpart.
Don't worry, Cece. I'll save you.
Way to go, Cleft! Rich boy Chin Wonder!
When Timmy finds out about Remy's godparent, he'd later learn that the reason Remy has Wandissimo in the first place is because his actual parents are neglectful, and he's quite insecure about that. Remy Rides Again is the next time we'd see Remy Bucks Aplenty, this time without Wandissimo because he would lose him within the prior episode, and he orchestrates an entire plan to get Timmy's life so perfect that he doesn't need godparents anymore, which includes using his limo to go into class, 5-star meals, and bribing Trixie Tang to go on a date with Timmy.
Timmy, this is the greatest night of my life, and I get to... Could you lean to your left? Spend it with you.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't blame Trixie. You see that bag she was sitting on?
Back at someone does make them miserable on the inside. Within Fairly Oddparents, all I see is a kid using his near infinite amount of money to wield the world as he wishes without godparents. Because remember, he lost a magical duel in the prior episode. If he doesn't need Wandissimo, then he doesn't need fairies. In fact, this will become more apparent in Operation Fun, where Remy would again orchestrate an entire plan to lure Timmy into a military boot camp, bribe the lead officer into making Timmy's experience extra miserable, plant a butterfly net on top of Cosmo and Wanda to prevent them from fixing this, and nearly blow them up, not even thinking about his parents so much, as the first episode would imply, given that they ignored him on the island.
On that deserted island, Father discovered oil, and Mumsy opened a seaside luxury resort.
Damn.
Pretty soon
They
were
got the
busier
business.
and richer than never before.
Standing
in my
on
opinion,
business.
Remy doesn't deserve godparents because his life fundamentally is not that miserable, even without the lack of a parental
Trixie?
aid.
Hell no.
Trixie Tang is a peculiar case because there's a lot for and against her having fairies. She is the most popular girl at school, as shown multiple times, with many episodes dedicated to how multiple guys, especially Tad and Chad together, want to date her. Within just the two of us, we learned Trixie has a major insecurity that's been built up over the long period
Facts,
of
that little
time
girl,
that
she
guys
crazy
chase
as shit.
after her, to the point where she can't be in a stable relationship because she enjoys the amount of guys that admired her.
Weird, huh? It's like we're the last two people on Earth.
But that means there are less people around to adore me. I need somebody to adore me!
I'm here.
Okay. Don't ever leave my side!
Not only this, but she's been magically altered to like Timmy multiple times, which within the context of this being a wacky 2000s comedy show isn't anything to worry about, but from her perspective is at the very least annoying. Within Love Struck, it is implied that Timmy asks Trixie to be his Valentine every single year, and thus she has
Damn.
filed a restraining order after the last time. While she
Damn.
seemed to change her mind in this episode, Timmy has earned being too obsessed with Trixie over the course of the show. Within Class Clown, had Timmy not wished to be the funniest kid on the planet, he wouldn't have been able to give Trixie a plant that nearly killed her. Not only this, but she'd have a major identity crisis where she loves boy stuff, but couldn't come out publicly to say it because her self-worth hinges on her popularity.
I like you for who you are. Blah, 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 blah. That's what everyone expects you to be. A friend to you. Oh my gosh. That is so sweet. But, that's what I have girlfriends for. Security?
If Remy
Damn.
Plenty, as rich and influential as he is, can have fairies with this miserability factor being his distant family, then personally Trixie having fairies because of her identity and personal insecurities is just as valid. But what about her best friend? Veronica is best known as Trixie's
getting
most
shitted on,
likely
bro.
best friend. She appears within A Wish Too Far, where she's skeptical of Timmy's newfound popularity.
Timmy Turner?
Man, dragging in a butt seat.
Popular, so quick! My Spasmo friend does have a point.
Trixie, that's wrong. You can't say that. You're gonna get me demonetized. Anywho, Timmy responds to Veronica's justified skepticism by blinding her. And yes, she continued to be blind for that day. She's implied in more than a few episodes to be on the lowest part of the popularity quartet. That is Trixie, Tad, Chad, and Veronica, receiving quite a bit of slapstick, such as in Class Clown, where Timmy dramatically trips into Veronica as they fall into the fountain. She'd be tackled by AJ within the episode Hail to the Chief, which I want to note because whatever AJ did off camera gave Veronica
beat the
a black
shit out
eye.
of her.
Most importantly, or weirdly, she is shown to be oddly attached to Trixie and to a lesser extent Timmy. The former she'd want to be like. Within Information Stupor Highway, she'd claim to actually be Trixie, and within Mind Over Magic, she'd implied that she has a crush on Timmy.
But let's see if that's how she really feels. Why is this loser talking to me? Why isn't that loser talking to me?
With all of that said, Veronica is quite crazy, but her life is not miserable. She's just not the most popular one of the group, so
Right.
she does not deserve godparents.
AJ?
But what about the rest
Nah.
of Timmy's friends? AJ to me is a very open and shut case. He's considered very well off if you've seen his home and his inventions. He's built a lot of contraptions, including an older brother within old brother, that for one time made Francis afraid of him.
Greychild, release the creator.
Hey!
He also has a pretty solid friendship with Timmy, shown as early as Power Mad, but they've had their problems too. Within Smarty Pants, AJ's gloating goes too far and Timmy wishes to be smarter than him, leading into a power struggle with who's more intelligent. Even though Timmy wished for it, AJ is legitimately smart, but it also comes from his close relationship with his family. Within
Right.
the episode Just Desserts, it is shown that he sits down with his mother and his father
Damn,
and
with the
does
plate
math
clean.
problems
God
instead of
damn,
having a
fat
conventional
boy.
dessert.
Yay, dessert!
A book?
A math book?
It's Tuesday. On Tuesday, we multiply fractions for dessert.
Oh,
Nothing
hell
is
no.
sweeter than knowledge.
His friendship with Chester is unrivaled within the show, arguably closer than Timmy's despite their problems as well, such as in Sleep Over and Over, where Chester and AJ argue over who's better between Crash Nebula and the Crimson Chin, or in the episode Remy Rides Again, where Chester uses a lot of slang that annoys AJ for being used awkwardly.
You were wiggity wiggity whack, G.
I asked nicely.
Well, I say you was wiggity wiggity whack, G.
It's AJ for being used
It was
awkwardly.
wiggity
You
wiggity
were
whack,
wiggity
G.
wiggity whack, G.
I asked nicely.
You had to shock my man.
While Chester was more of a tougher case, AJ's life is not that bad
Hell no.
for Dimsdale standards, and he does not deserve fairies. Sanjay is considered Timmy's third best friend who also suffers within Fairly Oddparents, but does he deserve godparents? His friendship with Timmy also isn't that great and has worked against his favor, such as an
I don't
escape
know.
from Unwished
Sanjay-
Island. Despite not being close
I'll
enough
say-
with Timmy to
I'll
go
say
to his
no.
home, he'd be kidnapped for association.
Cause you got a good family.
You friends with Timmy Turner?
And we kind of hang out together, but I've never been to his house.
Close enough.
Within Power Pals, he was shown to be another victim of being taken advantage of by Timmy. He doesn't seem to take this too personally within the show, and maybe it is for the best given that Sanjay dreams about Timmy rescuing him on a white horse.
I'm having one of those dreams where I forgot to wear my pants. Sweet.
And I'm having one of those dreams where Timmy saves me again. But where is your white horse?
He also appeared to be taking a date that looked suspiciously like Timmy to the school's
Oh,
romance
that's creepy.
dance. His family, from what we've been
That's
shown,
creepy.
is unlike most other kids. Within the episode Oh Brother, he's shown to have a happy and supportive relationship with his stepbrother.
Sanjay, let me give you a lift to school.
You have a big brother?
Yes, he's my stepfather's son. And not only is he the greatest big brother ever, but look!
Juice box, little bro?
Oh
Because of
shit,
his
he got
seemingly
apple
healthy
juice.
relationship with his brother and lack of true resentment for Timmy, he doesn't appear to be miserable. At least not enough for
Facts.
godparents, even with the bullying from
Elmer?
Francis. Elmer is an interesting
He always
case,
happy to
but
me,
it is
man.
quite clear if he deserves godparents or not. He is the biggest nerd at Dimsdale
You wanna see
Elementary
my
School and is
boy?
Timmy's backup friend. Regardless, he seems to have a good friendship with Sanjay, picking him as a lab partner within the episode Most Wanted and having fun with him at the beach within Beach Bummed. He's confirmed to be the fourth closest friend to Timmy and was given an opportunity to change that by being a decoy within the episode No Substitute for Crazy. Little is known about him besides the club he's a part of called Future Flemmer Society. He's also known for its boil, which has a mind of its own as shown within Mind Over Magic.
Lucky cheater.
I hope nobody notices my boil has a mind of its own.
Silence, you fool. Wait, turn your head. Turn your head.
While it comes up mostly for comedic effect, what's more surprising is that within Love Struck and Just the Two of Us, he had a girlfriend.
He did? Hey yo,
With
like
this
they bump
said,
boils.
I do believe he deserves godparents, given his lowest rank on the totem pole, the freaking bullying by Francis, and
But he
sometimes
always
Timmy,
happy,
and
though.
his boil, which we'd learned that Timmy's responsible for in It's a Wishful Life. However, Timmy would gain another friend before the end of the original show.
See, I didn't really see her. I stopped watching Fairly Oddparents
Oddparents
at this time.
The 10th season of Fairly Oddparents. She's instantly loved by all of her classmates for pointing out that they shouldn't even be at school, liked by Timmy's fairies because she's a nice human being, on casual terms with the President of the United States to the point where he cries if he can't call her, loved by Timmy's parents because she made Timmy's father rich and gave Timmy's mother a makeover, instantly loved by their neighborhood because of the extravagant party she throws, and given fairies by Jorgen on her first day in Dimsdale without explaining why,
Right.
all in the first episode. It's explained that while she has great intent, her well wishes lead to disasters.
You really get me. And now that my foot is healed, I can destroy the city! Roar, man!
See? I tried too hard to fix things and I end up annoying people, destroying cities, and then no one wants to be my friend.
The first episode does not show Chloe's life being that miserable so much as it shows Chloe is just too nice for her own good sometimes. While that seems like a flaw on paper, with the context that Chloe had to share fairies, it makes little sense why she was the first pick if she's not that miserable compared to her peers. Without fairies, it seemed like she already had a good heart and wasn't particularly disadvantaged besides a few moments before, so in no universe would Chloe deserve fairies with these circumstances. But the opposite is true for
Tootie.
this next person. Tootie is generally known for being overbearing.
Yeah,
and
Tootie definitely
over-emotional
deserves. She
within the
definitely
show,
deserves
always
Fairly
chasing
Odd
Timmy
Parents.
and constantly
For
being
sure.
tortured by Vicky. But she doesn't have godparents within the show. Funnily enough, Tootie wasn't always this way. In the Oh Yeah Cartoons era of the show, known more as Season 0, Tootie was chill, and her crush on Timmy wasn't exaggerated. In fact, Vicky was also quite nice to her sister, which is such a stark contrast to the main show.
Hi, Timmy! No! I'll pick you up later, sis. Have fun!
However, in the main show, starting with the episode Boy Toy, she's actually not that liked. The episode makes it clear that Timmy, Chester, and AJ don't like her at all, pelting her with water balloons, but Vicky doesn't like her as well, ruining her toys and making Tootie do her chores. In fact, Vicky would have a very negative relationship with Tootie, punishing her as much as she punishes Timmy, to which we don't know if she gets paid to do so every time. Vicky would ruin every single birthday party Tootie had, because no kid would want to show up if Vicky was there. We'd also learn her parents don't show up for the exact same reason.
How the fuck the parents scared of Vicky?
Hi, honey. Sorry we missed your birthday party.
Oh, we'd have been there, but we were too afraid of Vicky.
In fact, my biggest point is that the show even confirms, through Cosmo and Wanda, that Tootie is twice as miserable as Timmy,
Facts.
which allowed Timmy within the episode Birthday Wish to loan out his fairies to Tootie.
Timmy, according to the rules, you can
The
only loan
rules.
your fairies to someone who is twice as miserable as you are.
Happy birthday to you!
Happy birthday to you! Petty as shit.
Settles that.
To me, it is an open and shut case that Tootie probably deserves fairies the most out of anyone on this list.
Facts.
But this episode also shows us why she doesn't have them. One
Facts.
of the rules of having fairies is that you can't tell people that you have fairies. Tootie cannot keep her mouth shut, even for one night.
I knew you'd come! Oh, Timmy! Meet my fairy princess! Not another word.
Regardless, if we're speaking purely in terms of who deserves them, not who can keep them, then even with that massive flaw, she still deserves fairies, and probably just needs to be told to keep her mouth shut more often. You might have noticed that I was keeping a
Yeah, I was
giant
wondering who you got up in
secret
that
on
corner.
this last box.
Who that
And it
is?
because it is a character that a lot of you might
Who the
not
fuck
know.
is that?
So, Hazel Wells, at the time of recording this, is the main character in the upcoming show, Fairly Oddparents: A New Wish. An early copy of this episode has made its rounds
What the hell
throughout the
is
community,
Hazel?
and I figured to put her through the test as well. She's recently moved into the big city of Dimmodelphia and has to fit in with the new kids,
Dimmodelphia?
including Doug Dimmodome's grandson, Dev Dimmodome, who gives her a hard time. Now, without spoiling too much, the show has made it clear that she doesn't have friends and resorts to using pet rocks as a coping mechanism for the pain she has of missing her brother. Despite this,
sad.
she does have a somewhat positive outlook
She on
and a
SpongeBob
healthy
shit.
relationship with their parents. Relative to the other kids in Dimmodelphia, she does seem to be the one having the hardest time. In this world, Cosmo and Wanda don't have a godchild, so there wouldn't be any sharing involved. And based on the leaked episode, she comes across as someone who deserves fairies, and I can't wait to see what the new show offers, especially after the live-action reboot went nowhere, got cancelled, and was scrubbed off of Paramount Plus. And if you haven't heard about the live-action Fairly OddParents show, Fairly Odder, you should definitely check it out in this.
Hey man, that's gonna do it for who truly deserves fairies. I don't know about that new one, but check man. That's gonna do it for the video. Let me see in the comments below. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the vibe, man. Peace.